Hey folks, Rich here, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. So at a bee meeting last night, and the presenter was talking about how many hives he's lost to ants. I just had a call recently from a club member who wants one of our swarms because she lost her hive to ants. Ants is a big problem, particularly since we've just gone through 3 days of solid nonstop rain, and the ants tend to come up during that time. Now, ants aren't a problem in this yard because A, when the pollen count is high, I tend to come out and put down ant bait on the ground everywhere. I do that when the pollen count is high. How do you know when the pollen count's high? You just look on the website. All you have to do is type in pollen count and your zip code, and you'll come to probably more than one website that's going to tell you what the tree pollen count is. You always want to do it when the pollen count's high because the bees have better things to do than run around looking for cornmeal on the ground. Okay, if the pollen count's really low, then bees might be tempted to go for cornmeal that's impregnated with a chemical. So, anywho, I keep this well treated with that, and I treat my hive stands otherwise, but I'm going to show you a quick and easy and dirty way to uh, take care of an ant problem if you have one and you're not in a position to, or you don't want to put down granule. So first thing you do is you go to the automotive store and you get yourself some tacky red grease. All right. And you go to the dollar store and you pick yourself up a tray that's big enough to be larger than a cinder block in the case of these, or in the case of those, it would be a half cinder block. You could use the same trays. Now, I watched a video recently about a guy who actually has sheet metal skills, and he just used some sheet metal and folded it out, which would undoubtedly be better. But this is what you have to do.
And how much was the red and tacky grease approximately?
That was $10 for the jar of red tacky grease.
Looks like it's lasted you a while.
Yep.
How often do you have to apply this?
Once.
Once a season? Once a year?
Once for the life of the stuff. As far as I know, I've never reapplied.
The grease just lasts?
The grease is upside down like this, so it's protected from the sun and the rain. I'm sure it eventually degrades, but how long did it take the grease that the guy at Coral Castle? He put grease in the joint on his revolving stone door, and it lasted like 56 years. So, and they had to take the big stone out of the way and re-grease everything.
So you also have used Tanglefoot for ants.
Yep.
How does this compare?
I would say that Tanglefoot's better, but Tanglefoot's a lot more expensive and it's a lot less easily available. I mean, you don't have to get your grease like this. You could go and get yourself a tube of grease that goes into a grease gun and just do it that way too. Any good thick grease. It's just that a grease that says red and tacky, it's got to be good for this purpose.
So, but if somebody already had Tanglefoot, they could do it the same way with
Absolutely.
this.
Absolutely. Though I tend to reserve Tanglefoot for things like these bars over here on this. I did go ahead and pick up some trays, 4 of them, so that I could just cap all 4 of those stones with it next year, probably, because with any luck, this should be gone within the next month. We should be past the main part of the season down here.
Oh, you mean the rainy season?
You know, we're starting into the rainy season, but we should be past the swarm season.
Oh.
I know 12 months a year is swarm season down here, but still, the main part we should be past.
Is there any reason why you're putting it on the cover or the hive?
Yeah, well, you grease anything up like this and it acts as a protection. I did it right there. I probably should have done it on the end grain, more to the point.
Well, you're really just getting it off your hands.
I'm just getting enough of it off my hands so I can grab hold of this thing. Okay. Oh boy, this end's heavier than the other end.
That is probably the end where you have the water.
Oh, you're right. It's the end where I have the water and the sugar.
So now that's going to keep the ants from being able to climb up into the hive.
Yep. Yep, the ants go up the stones, they get to there, and that stops them. So go get yourself 2 for $1, or $1.25, I guess it is today. 2 for $1.25 that fit. These just barely fit, but they fit well enough. The ants aren't going to, I'll adjust it slightly, but the ants really can't quite get by them. And put some grease on them. I don't care whether the grease comes in a container like this or whether it's axle grease from a grease gun tube or whatever, but it's a quick way to take care of some of your ant problems. That's it. Just a quick video. See you guys later.
Can I ask you a question first?
Oh, go ahead.
So you can't use any other kind of grease, like bacon grease, lard?
I mean, no, that would attract the ants.
Well, I mean,
okay.
I figured it was a stupid question, but...
yes, you need to use a petrochemical grease that has no nutritive or food value for the ants.
Thank you for that.
Okay. All right. Be sure to like and subscribe, everybody.